supposed to be his top secret security briefings. Hillary Clinton taking heat, saying no more ground troops in Iraq and Syria. But tonight, she is now fundraising over what her team believes was an unfair forum. The deadly school shooting of 14-year-old opening fire, the race to get students out just days into the new school year. The warning tonight, the battery in a new smartphone igniting, the entire SUV up in flames. The stunning escape, this murder suspect breaking free from inside this interrogation room, and you'll see it. And America strong tonight, the football players and the cheerleader who won the game before it even started.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the growing firestorm over the forum, the commander-in-chief test. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton both under fire. Trump's words about American generals, Clinton's promise no ground troops ever again in Iraq. And tonight here, straight to the new polls. Take a look at the key battleground states. Clinton with a very slight lead in Pennsylvania. Trump up by 1 in Ohio. And in Florida tonight, they are both tied. All of the polls within the margin of error. This race is suddenly a dead heat, and both candidates facing heat. We begin with what Donald Trump said about the generals and ABC's Jonathan Karl.
Campaigning in Ohio today, Donald Trump blasted Hillary Clinton's performance in that national security forum.
She's got to get her act together.
But Trump is now facing blowback over his statements, including his attack on America's senior military leadership.
The generals have been reduced to rubble. They have been reduced to a point where it's embarrassing for our country.
He even suggested he'd fire the top brass.
Well, there'd probably be different generals, to be honest with you.
But there are only so many generals. They come up through the ranks, serving presidents of both parties. Then there's what he said about his first classified national security briefing.
And I was very, very surprised in almost every instance. And I could tell, I have pretty good with the body language, I could tell they were not happy. Our leaders did not follow what they were recommending.
Candidates are expected to say nothing about what is, by definition, a confidential briefing.
I think what he said was totally inappropriate and undisciplined.
Trump also doubled down on the debunked claim that he opposed the Iraq war.
I happened to hear Hillary Clinton say that I was not against the war in Iraq. I was totally against the war in Iraq. You can look at Esquire magazine from '04. You can look at before that.
But 2004 was a year after the war started. Tonight, the Clinton campaign fired off this email. Donald Trump kicked off his evening by lying about his position on the Iraq war, and no one stopped to call him on it. There is only one known definitive statement from Trump before the war, and in it, he says he's in favor.
Are you for invading Iraq?
Yeah, I guess so. I wish I wish the first time it was done correctly.
At the forum, Trump was also pressed about his plan for defeating ISIS. For more than a year, he has said he has one.
There is a method of defeating them quickly and effectively and having total victory. I don't want the enemy to know what I'm going to do. All I can tell you is that it is a foolproof way of winning.
But recently, he said he'd ask his generals to come up with a plan.
Is the plan you've been hiding this whole time asking someone else for their plan?
No. But when I do come up with a plan that I like and that perhaps agrees with mine or maybe doesn't, I may love what the generals come back with. I will convene.
But you have your own plan.
I have a plan. If I win, I don't want to broadcast to the enemy exactly what my plan is.
And finally, Trump raised eyebrows by again praising Russian leader Vladimir Putin.
If he says great things about me, I'm going to say great things about him. He's been a leader far more than our president has been a leader.
And Jonathan Karl with us live tonight. John, Trump not only standing by his praise of Putin, but citing Putin's poll numbers in Russia.
Well, you know that Donald Trump loves to talk about polls, and he said that Putin has an 82% approval rating in Russia. What he didn't mention is that Putin is essentially a dictator who maintains near total control over Russian mass media and is known to crack down on Russians who dare to challenge him, David.
John Karl leading us off tonight. John, thanks. There was someone else paying close attention to what came out of the Commander-in-Chief forum. The Commander-in-Chief, President Obama, saying Trump must be challenged when he says, quote, uninformed or outright wacky ideas. And tonight, Hillary Clinton's team is now fundraising off of what they believe was an unfair forum. But Clinton is facing tough questions over some of what she said, too. And a major development involving former Secretary of State Colin Powell. He did advise Clinton on private email after all. Here's ABC's Cecilia Vega.
In North Carolina today, Hillary Clinton ripped into Donald Trump for lavishing praise on Vladimir Putin.
Even taking the astonishing step of suggesting he prefers the Russian president to our American president. That is not just unpatriotic. It's not just insulting to the office and the man who holds the office. It is scary. It is dangerous.
In that room full of veterans, she painted herself as the only one in the race who has what it takes to be commander-in-chief.
Steadiness, an absolute rock steadiness, and mixed with strength to be able to make the hard decisions.
But now, Clinton is taking heat for this statement.
We are not putting ground troops into Iraq ever again, and we're not putting ground troops into Syria. We're going to defeat ISIS without committing American ground troops.
There already are American troops on the ground in both countries. Today, Clinton clarifying.
I think putting a big contingent of American ground troops on the ground in Iraq and Syria would not be in the best interest of the fight against ISIS and other terrorist groups.
One issue that will not go away, her emails. Clinton spent a quarter of the time that she was on that stage answering questions about them. And she insisted she was careful handling classified material.
I took it very seriously. When I traveled, I went into one of those little tents that I'm sure you've seen around the world, because we didn't want there to be any potential for someone to have embedded a camera to try to see whatever it is that I was seeing that was designated, marked, and headed as classified.
But now, new insight into her email use and the advice she received from one of her predecessors. In an email, former Secretary of State Colin Powell, a Republican, told Clinton he too used, quote, a personal computer that was hooked up to a private phone line to communicate with a wide range of friends directly without it going through the State Department servers. Powell said he even used it to do business with some foreign leaders and some of the senior folks in the State Department on their personal email accounts.
And Cecilia Vega with us live tonight from Charlotte. And Cecilia, Hillary Clinton also seemed to fire back today when asked about criticism. She didn't smile enough last night.
Well, David, the head of the RNC tweeted that she seemed angry and on the defensive and that she didn't smile enough. Well, she was smiling today when she says she doesn't take anything that the RNC says seriously. She said, quote, Trump chose to talk about his deep admiration and support for Vladimir Putin. Maybe he did it with a smile, and I guess the RNC would have liked that. David?
Cecilia Vega, always great to have you. There are also two other much lesser known candidates in the race for president, and one of them today was asked, what would you do about Aleppo? Of course, the center of so much bloodshed and heartbreak in Syria. He asked, what is Aleppo? Here's Martha Raddatz with the moment.
The stunning moment playing out on live TV. Libertarian presidential candidate Gary Johnson stumped not by a gotcha question, but a basic foreign policy question in the headlines for months.
What would you do if you were elected about Aleppo?
About?
Aleppo.
And what is Aleppo?
You're kidding.
No.
Aleppo is in Syria. It's the epicenter of the refugee crisis.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Aleppo, the largest city in war-torn Syria. Just 2 days ago, these images from Aleppo broadcast around the world. More than 100 people, including dozens of children, sickened by a chlorine gas attack. Just last month, this picture became an international call to action. 5-year-old Amram Daknish pulled from the rubble of his bombed-out Aleppo home. Minutes after his interview failed, Johnson, a former governor of New Mexico, acknowledged he, quote, blanked.
No one is taking this more seriously than me. I feel horrible.
What do you think will happen now?
Well, that I have to get smarter, and that's just part of the process.
But later on ABC's The View, Johnson taken to task.
I know what it is, and I should not be any smarter than you because you're running for president. I think it's a disqualifying statement, frankly.
Yeah, and fair enough.
All right, let's get right to Martha tonight. Did he have any sort of explanation why he didn't know what Aleppo was or where it was?
David, he said he was thinking in terms of acronyms, that Aleppo was somehow an acronym for something, but he also said there was really no excuse whatsoever for his failure, and he added that if you are running for president, everything should be fair game. So there you have it, David.
All right, Martha Raddatz with us again tonight. Thank you. Next to a deadly school shooting in Texas, the school put on lockdown, students hiding in fear, and teachers frantic to keep everyone safe. A 14-year-old opening fire. Here's ABC's Clayton Sandell.
It started when police say a 14-year-old freshman girl pulled a gun at this Alpine, Texas high school and shot another female student. The school immediately put on lockdown.
The teacher quickly shut off the lights and we all pressed against the wall and stayed silent. Girls started crying. It was just a mess.
Police got there fast, but say the shooter had already killed herself. Officials say she seemed to be a good student who moved to Alpine about 6 months ago.
This is Alpine. It's a peaceful place to live and come, and that's the hard part about it.
The victim ran outside and was rushed to a hospital. When it was over, students were overcome with emotion. Active shooter training is part of everyday life for cops nationwide. This drill in Douglas County, Colorado.
They're trying to figure out the best way to go in and meet the threat head on.
Officers used to wait for a SWAT team's help, but now they quickly take the fight to the shooter.
Drop the weapon!
David, investigators are still trying to figure out a motive for the shooting. As for the victim, she's already been released from the hospital. David?
Clayton, thank you. We turn next here to severe weather across the country tonight. That tropical system that caused flash floods in Arizona, whipping up this funnel cloud as well. And tonight, millions are now under heat advisories in the east. School closings in Ohio and Pennsylvania. Record heat possible from D.C. up through Philly, New York, and Boston. So let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking it all for us. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. For September, this is pretty extreme heat. Records falling today in Baltimore. It was 96, and D.C. 98. Of course, the humidity adds to that. Take a look at what it feels like right now, near 100 in Philadelphia and also in D.C. Tomorrow, we expect more records to fall into the 90s from Virginia all the way up I-95 into Boston. Slow-moving cool front firing up storms tonight near Paducah, in through Springfield and up through Buffalo, New York, where they could use the rain not just for the drought, but to cool things off. There are some schools in the Northeast that don't have air conditioning, so we might see more closings tomorrow. David?
Rob Marciano, thanks. Next tonight to the Zika crisis right here in the U.S. and troubling new numbers from Florida, where 80 pregnant women have now tested positive for the virus, all travel-related. And a baby with Zika-related microcephaly has been born at a Miami hospital. In Miami Beach, aerial spraying of pesticide has been delayed until tomorrow after residents raised concerns about the safety of the spraying. But one official tonight calling it the only option in the face of a public health emergency. This evening, thousands of employees at the nation's largest bank are accused of using customers' information to open up new bank accounts for millions of Americans without you even knowing, and putting some of the customers' money into new accounts, and then allegedly charging overdraft fees for the initial account. Well, tonight here, a landmark fine, $185 million, and Rebecca Jarvis is tracking your money.
Tonight, Wells Fargo under fire. Thousands of employees at the bank accused of secretly using customer information and illegally opening more than 2 million savings and credit card accounts. To meet sales goals, bankers at branches across the country would temporarily siphon money from real bank accounts into those secret accounts, keeping customers in the dark, even creating phony email addresses and fake PINs to cover their tracks. Customers who had no idea the money was gone were then charged overdraft fees. Wells Fargo firing 5,300 employees in connection with the widespread illegal scheme that spans at least 5 years, telling ABC News, while we regret every interaction that was not handled properly, the number of instances and team members involved represent a very small portion of our business.
Wow, this is still stunning. Rebecca with us now. And how do customers get their money back if they were overcharged?
David, Wells Fargo expects to pay back as much as $5 million to customers, and they say it will automatically go back in your account if you were affected by this scam.
All right, Rebecca Jarvis on your money tonight. Rebecca, thanks. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Thursday. The prisoner making a stunning escape, and you'll see it right here. The murder suspect breaking out of this interrogation room. You can see surveillance cameras. Why weren't police looking? How did this happen? Also, the warning tonight about the smartphone battery igniting. The owner saying his whole SUV went up in flames. And America's strong tonight. Look at this. The high school football players taking the field for the big game, but the big twist. The sudden surprise for this cheerleader, and you have got to hear the story behind this. We'll be right back.
Your body was made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask if Xeljanz is right for you. Xeljanz is a small pill for adults with moderate to severe RA, for whom methotrexate did not work well. Xeljanz can reduce joint pain and swelling in as little as 2 weeks and help stop further joint